Hey, what's up, everybody? Jazz Borgonzo here. Another episode of What's Next. Now, in my last video, basically I gave a slap to one Chelsea Clinton because, of course, she always deserves it, because every time she opens her mouth, the rare times she's seen, she talks nonsense. She talks bullshit. And, of course, thanking God for Joe Biden versus thanking God for Donald Trump because of history and facts. Well, you know, we can't have that, can we? But one of the many, shall I say, interesting aspects of the State of the Union address by one Joe Dementia was a particular point in time where one Congresswoman made her voice known because of the lack of respect that Joe Dementia gave out to our military. Let's take a look. This comes out of Gateway Pundit. 13 of them. Lauren Bobert, Congressman Lauren Bobert, calls out Joe Biden's failure in Afghanistan and death of 13 troops during the State of the Union address. Yes, I've addressed that in a previous video regarding the CLUSTERFU in Afghanistan because he did it so masterfully well. But let's read. Joe Dementia delivered his first State of the Union address this past Tuesday. Quote, "In just 1 year, we have already seen two of the biggest military failures in American history thanks to Joe Dementia. Joe Dementia has failed our nation and our troops. Facts, facts, and more facts. The botched Afghanistan withdrawal left 13 troops, 13 American servicemen, dead, and thousands of Americans stranded in hostile Taliban-ruled Afghanistan. The Taliban also seized over $80 billion in military equipment." In a previous video, he quotes Joe Dementia, "I make no apologies for what I did." Joe Dementia on his Afghanistan withdrawal, the result, 13 U.S. service members died. When Joe Biden was speaking on the tragedies of war in Afghanistan and the drastic outcomes for some, including death, Representative Lauren Bobert shouted 13 of them to remind Joe Biden of the 13 troops that he sent to die in Afghanistan during his failed withdrawal and surrender. You can also see Nancy Pelosi's disgusting grin and excitement as Biden mentions the waste of war and death of troops. Biden, headaches, numbness, dizziness, a cancer that would put them in a flag-draped coffin. Bobert, 13 of them. Here it is.
Headaches, numbness, dizziness, a cancer that would put them in a flag-draped coffin. I know.
That woman, Colorado Congresswoman Lauren Bobert, joins me now. Congresswoman, you got an enormous amount of heat. You were smeared in the media for breach of decorum. Why did you speak out during this speech as you did?
Laura, it is never wrong to stand up and speak out for moms and dads who lost their children. And I want to remind everyone who may be concerned about me speaking up at the State of the Union that Joe Biden was 100% responsible for the deaths of the 13 brave service members we lost in Afghanistan. And last night, he took zero responsibility for it. So when Joe Biden started talking about flag-draped coffins, I got fired up. My mind went straight to the 13 soldiers that died in Afghanistan. The mother of one of those heroes lives in my district. She told me Joe Biden killed her son. So you're darn right I spoke up. And if I could redo last night, I would absolutely do it again. The left, Laura, they got upset. They attacked me for it. That's fine. I can take it. But I will always speak the truth about our southern border, the truth about corruption, the truth about bad Democrat policies, and the truth about Joe Biden funding Russia's war by buying their oil. And I am proud to have mentioned these 13 brave men and women because the media would have given Joe Biden a complete pass on ignoring them at the State of the Union. Not you, Laura.
Not
we're talking.
Not surprisingly, the White House decided to launch against you today. Why?
Right.
A speech like the State of the Union, it's hugely important. It doesn't have the time to touch on everything that is a priority. During that heckling, that was the moment in the speech where the president was talking about his unity agenda. I think that says a lot more about them than it does about how important these priorities are.
The unity agenda, Congresswoman, I guess you stepped all over the unity of not mentioning the sacrifice of those 13.
Laura, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They will not hold Biden accountable, so we the people have to. And Joe's spin doctor, Jen Psaki, said that he didn't have the time to get to everything. We would have sat there for 3 hours if he could have sustained for 3 hours. But sadly, Biden has never had time for these heroes. Remember when they returned home? Joe was checking his watch, and last night he spent more time giving small business owners bad economic advice than honoring those 13 heroes.
Thank God we have those like Lauren Bobert, like Marjorie Taylor Greene, like Representative Cawthorn out of Carolina, that we have people who respect and love our country. All the faults, all the foibles, all the failures that we've had as a country, but we are still the freest nation on this earth. We are still the most democratically represented republic on the face of the earth. That we have military members, men and women, who love this country, who serve it proudly. But then you have those, like those Democratic Party, those leftists, who see our military as a failure, who see our country as a failure, but yet have no problem making their money here in this country because they know for a fact they can't do it anywhere else, but yet continue to slam this nation. So when Lauren Bobert shouted out, 13 of them, remember, Joe, that you did this. Remember, Joe, that you were the cause of the failure in Afghanistan. Over $80 billion in equipment, technology, research, you left to a bunch of 13th century ragheads. But we're the bad guys. We're the bad guys. Wow. But again, thank you, Lauren, for making your voice heard and to keep a reminder of how much of a failure that Joe Dementia has been to this nation since he got, quote unquote, elected as president. And with that being said, I'm Jasper Gonzo. This is What's Next. Want to see more just like this? Please leave a comment below, like it, share it, subscribe to it, and we'll catch you guys next time. Peace.